Okay, so we're discussing my networks, and we're talking about networks of many sizes. And basically, I was saying my networks can be very small. Two devices, two phones sharing Bluetooth via Bluetooth. That's a network. To a billion of devices, that's a network. So we have my small home networks by that definition, small office, medium to large networks. Then we have worldwide networks. Those are they can be they can be perfectly summarized by two more definitions that are very important in networking. I think you will encounter these two words here, LAN and WAN. So LAN, that's a local area network. When we talk of small networks, that's where we start. Confined in a small geographical area, size of the area covered is very small, right? We have a wide area network, what we call a WAN. So in the LAN, I'm just referring to a local area network. WAN, a wide area network. You see these two words a lot in networking, right? So they can be differentiated by size, by number of users connected. Either 2, 3 my devices. Most likely that is a local area network. Either a million devices. It's very difficult to picture a local area network with a million devices. Number, types of services available, area of responsibility, two most common types of networks, LAN and WAN, right? So these things are used to differentiate my networks are. But for now, I want you to understand a LAN and a WAN by using our intermediate device runs router irorapel. That's the first stop. Yekuti munzwisisa kuti a LAN or a WAN chi. Because my definition yekuti by geographical size anobaisa. You could have a small geographical area, small geographical size network, but a wide area network. So understanding yenyu, let's stem off from pakuziva inonzi router iro. My devices ASI, why course yedu yakareba is because muchapinda device iro munoita configurations. In simple terms, my settings, right? You change my settings so that traffic, if I'm you change my settings so that people have access to what they are authorized to have access to. That is security. So most of the time, the configurations up on I don't know if it's just me, but I can't see what's on your screen. Oi, can you see what's on my screen, Hiba?
From here, I can see.
Okay.
From this side, yes.
Yeah, something wrong, Emmanuel.
From me, I can see as well.
Okay, thank you. Something is wrong your end, Emmanuel. Try ending the meeting, then joining again. All right, I think almost everyone is in. Okay, so I was saying understanding a network, my local area network or my wide area network, I want you to understand it from here. How? Ukatarisa router. All right, router rakadai so. I would have loved to Google it. Rakangodai so. It's a piece, a box, a ports like this. Hey, that rings bad. My ports are right. Up. Ndipo uconnecta your device up. Uconnecta ni cable yako hii. Hapo po connecta rimwe device, hapo connecta rimwe device, hapo connecta rimwe device, etc. Right. Maports yedu for now I want this, let's just have this four. Right? Those are going to a box like this. Then, however, panapa nobody's really round. I'm yet to see a router round so I'm yet to see that one. But the panapa symbol in there round. Right. So my ports angandru is I. Ndio are going to right? And my line I ndio are kushowa that media, which is our medium, right? So my line is I, line in, connecting my devices, connecting my networks. That's what we call, okay, that's what we call media. The guys saying here freezer screen, I think it's probably your end. If I get multiple accounts zichitaura kuti we are not seeing anything, I'll restart. But try restarting your end and join the meeting again. Right. So media ish, right? Media. So chiri kuseparata pari kuseparata kuti iri kuuya uku iyi media iri kuuya uku iyi ichibva parouter. That is the definition of a LAN. So everything chiri attached to this media ish, number one ish, it leads to a LAN. Then everything chiri attached by media number two ish, that's another LAN. Then this one, that's another LAN. Whether minimum device is 1 or 20, if it's coming from a router, LAN yakadaro. So evidently this room is, it's multiple LANs. LAN 1 irubva apa, LAN 2 irubva apa, LAN 3 irubva apa. And this defines yet not a wide area network. Although kuma basics kunonga yakanzi LAN. My definition of a LAN, don't mupabate papa musazopa confusing. Inogona kutangira from the size. Panapa yo wanga rutora one size. This is a small geographical area, yes. They call it a LAN. But no, a LAN, we define it by my networks. If we have one network, that's a LAN. If we have two networks connected, that is a wide area network. So in simple terms, ndikaisa router rangu panapa, this is a simple router ish. This is a LAN ish. Ish. This is a LAN. But since they are interconnected by this device, this LAN plus this LAN, that is what we call a wide area network. I think my papa is set up. Let me see. Right, Emmanuel is back in. Right.
I have a question.
Yes,
Sorry.
question incoming.
Okay. You said, for example, pamataura apa mati router connected to that server, am I correct?
Yes, ra connected to server here.
And then robot connected to a switch, right?
Multi-layer switch here.
And then mati mean switch or remote LAN yaro and then server or remote LAN mar.
Yes.
Are they not in the network? Or
Are they not?
in the same network?
No, they are not. They are not in the same local area network. They can be in the same wide area network, but they are not in the same local area network. It's very important to differentiate the LAN, Ninon's one. We can be connected, but it is remove LAN imwechet. So in this case, the Katora issues, they are in the same network, which is a wide area network. To me, to this slide is a local area network, but to me, didn't do instructor for now. To me, that's a wide area network. Tikasa seko iri, they're in the same network, but since Natarot, every interface ripa router, it creates a network. It means device ripana, irim network yayo. My device arim network ayo, device rubane up, rim network yayo. It's like you see as we go. I'm doing
Okay.
getting confused.
Yeah. I get the point.
Right. But here IP address, here define my networks. You see, here define my networks. Right. You see what the network is. Address yayo, yakasiyana network ish, ichasiyana network e. Meaning my networks akasiyana. So, patikati vanhu ndeveku inena from the ghetto, vanhu ndevekubudirira, ava ndeveku Glenview, ava ndevemufakos. Maadresses ava vanhu vese vanenge akasiyana. Address yemunhu wese ari munomu inotanga nekuti Mufakos. Haumboiona yakati budiriro. Address yese yemunhu ari munomu inoti Glenview. Address yese yemunhu ari munomu inoti budiriro. But ndokwanisa kuti kuvaboxa vese ava ndo andati ghetto Harare. So ghetto Harare, that becomes our wide area network. Vese vanogona kunzi vari muHarare vese ava. But tikazopinda mukati vari different locations. I think I've try to explain as much as I can. So local area network, a little bit of research might help as well, defining what local area network chi, wide area network chi. But pandodongo mbate, ndipekuti iri routed. Ndikaisa interface akasiyana so, ndine 3 ma networks andina wapo, malan. It might be my one as well. For example, in link rwenda okay. Iritori link that's not a wide area link, wide area network. Right? Akasiyana. Ndikadai so o. Nikudai so o. Nikudai so o. 3 types of media ziripo hapo dzakasiyana totally. Iyi muchaona kuti it's a serial link as we go, which is a wide area network on its own. Iri, it's an Ethernet link. Ari to my Ethernet links are. So I'm going to lead that to a local area network. Don't stress too much. I think I've given too much information. Yes, I got the point. Let's go. Right, so local area network, wide area network, do a little bit of research. So that's the confusion, Bambera. Right. Geographical area, we've talked about this. LAN interconnected in a limited area administered by a single organization, provide high-speed bandwidth to internal devices. Right, here where does bandwidth here? Let's do some research. Bandwidth, what is that? I know here, and a background, yeah, a little bit of networking, telecom, IT. I know what is bandwidth? To get a high bandwidth. I think it's very important understanding that. Communication yangu, I'm using high bandwidth, I'm using low bandwidth, in a high bandwidth, in a low bandwidth. What does that mean? Anyone? Give it a try.
Is it not like a speed dedicated to a certain network? I don't know. Just trying.
Yeah. Zagarau, they are related, but it's not the same thing. They are related.
Excuse me, sir.
They're related, but
Is it not about the amount of data that is being transmitted?
no.
Is it the difference between two frequencies?
Yes, we're not telecom. The difference between two frequencies, yes, by technical definition, yes, but by definition, I true then specific one frequency she no. Let me just give it. Right.
Okay, I would like to give it a try maybe.
Yes, let's go.
I think I got to is it the maximum or the minimum upload or download speed, pure MAN networks.
It's not speed. It's the bandwidth is related to speed. If you have more bandwidth, it's more likely you can have more speed. If you have more bandwidth, right? Bandwidth. Let's give an analog. It's a let's see. Tineka Honda Fit. Tineka T35. Tineka 30-ton truck. Right. Kana ndiri kutakura 2 kg yesugar. Ndikwanisa kutakura nezvese no problem. Bandwidth ndikatakura nei inenge iri very high, no problem. Ndikatakura nei capacity. Bandwidth, let me start by saying bandwidth is the capacity of a channel. Tamba define a channel as a vehicle. So capacity of vehicle is what we call bandwidth. Kana ndiri kutakura 2 kg yesugar. Honda Fit, it has the capacity to carry 2 kg of sugar. No problem. You won't see any problems. Everything up. You won't see any problems. Maybe person is 2 uses. It's not cost effective. We don't need to use a T35 to carry 2 kg of sugar. It's not cost effective, right? But it's very easy to do that. The capacity, all 3 my devices and I sub, all 3 media and I sub, it has the capacity. But 20 tons. This one does not have the capacity. Probably this one does not have the capacity, but this one will have the capacity. So bandwidth is dependent on the vehicle. It will transmit information here. If media in a capacity yakakura, it means it is bandwidth yakakura. In a capacity yakakura 30 ton. Saka iwe ukasenda kana kg inofamba zvakanaka smooth. Vanhu million vakasenda my kgs, that's a million, no, that's a metric. 1,000 vakasenda my kgs anopfuura zvakanaka, no problem. 20 vakasenda my kgs anopfuura zvakanaka, no problem. But you cannot do the same this. And nyaya speed inozobva pakuti papo kuti capacity yakakura. Zvinoti chero ukaisa load, speed inenge yakaita sei inodhonza. Panapo ukaisa load yakawanda apa akafamba, speed inoita shoma. So I think it's very important at this kutanga kuno you encounter bandwidth, speed a lot. You need to know the difference. What is bandwidth? What is speed? Apa mutona pakanyo is two different things. High speed bandwidth. Maybe what is high speed bandwidth? It's very important. Mukazama terms azvikuvharei. Ukozi kufungidzira bandwidth chi unofungidzira nezvisizvo. Panoziya mubvunzo ovhara zvisingaiti. Right. Let's try to move a little bit. The internet, in short, the internet is the biggest wide area network we have. Right. Multiple local area networks. My local area network ese tikamaunganidza. Tomaita interconnection using my routers, my switches, our core. That is what we call the internet. So the internet basically zvinhu zvese zvakati connect. It's sort of imaginary, if I can say. And who owns that? We have a couple of organizations. I don't know if any individual owns that, but we have a couple of organizations which are responsible for setting my standards that we can use over the internet. And some of my organizations are in Rapa. You need to learn, in an answer, I don't have them in my head. You need to learn my organizations and their responsibilities. IETF, ICANN, ICANN, Right, do some research, just list them. Put your organizations in it and say that's good enough. What is its responsibility? In those Ayana, Panenopama IP addresses, I think it's Ayana. I think it's this one. Ayana, my IP addresses go over. Then we have my organizations like, it's not the internet though. I think this one should be part of the internet because look over my IP addresses. Then we have my organizations responsible for standardization. I think we are going to discuss them in chapter 3. So the internet is a wide area network, the biggest we can ever have. And we have my organizations responsible for maintaining my standards of that internet. Intranet, extranet, then internet. You definitely see and encounter a question. You go to what is the intranet, what is the extranet? So if we have a small company, my connections edu, and my connections edu are anoshanda in our small company and only in our small company. We call that an intranet. Company information in it's confined within your company and only your company. That is an intranet, internal kind of a thing. Then we have an extranet. If you allow people to access your network, so for example, suppliers, customers, collaborators, let's say my suppliers and my customers. You want my suppliers and you to get access to your network so that you can see what they're supplying and the meme you can sell, you can buy online, if I can say. You are allowing some organizations, some other companies into your network. That becomes an extranet because Tatanga Tripa internal intranet, we have now opened up to other people, not everyone, but other people, other organizations. That becomes an extranet. Then we have the public, the POVO, which is the internet. Everyone have access. So those three are different. And it's very important understanding them. When you are designing a network, you need to know what design a network, let us say, an intranet, an extranet, or in the internet. Right. Internet connections. Since we're talking of internet, it's very important understanding my type of connections at now, so that it has set up an internet at a company. Some of the jobs it's setting up, okay, installing and setting up a network. And that will involve at some point, if you want to get connected to the internet, knowing my access technologies at now. So we have different types of access technologies. How do we get to the internet? We have DSL. Let's start with the most common, YamaCY, wireless, right? Wireless broadband via my booster wireless, right? That's the most common, if I can say. Imwe rupisa zaizvezvi satellite, yeah, Starlink, yeah, Musk, satellite. Maviset, my satellites, if you know of Maviset, right? We can get access to the internet via those. We have DSL, which uses my phone lines, my telephone lines, my old telephone lines, and now DSL, it uses those, right? Or you have heard of ADSL, asymmetric DSL, right? We also have, let me see, my dedicated lease lines, my wide area network connections, for example, Metro Ethernet. My type of connections are not about access to the internet. And knowing and differentiating the difference between those is very important, because if you're setting up a network, I always say to my students, I'm going back to an engineer. I'm an engineer by profession. I'm going back there. If you're an engineer, your job, ugadzire chinhu with the least cost, chichiperforma as much as it can. With the least cost, it should be cost effective. So you design a network yako in a two computers, or a connection, connected to the internet using the Metro Ethernet in a bandwidth yakafanana ne 30-ton gonyet, but mune two PCs, my laptops, 2 kg of sugar. It's not cost effective. So understanding these type of technologies, access technologies, is very important, because unozoziva kuti kana design a network. Okay, network yangu yakakura zvakadii. How much traffic am I going to be pushing? So what type of internet access technology will I need? So it's very important. So next time after this, list them access technologies essay, or DSL inoshanda pakati. You see the DSL for home connections iripo, for business connections iripo as well. I think different packages you can have. Even satellite Yamask in a residential, I think I've heard of residential. I don't know the other one, but I'm sure it should be business. Takasiyana packages, kusiyana go, right? Pane Metro Ethernet, for example. That's for wide area networks. For one push traffic, I want this my huge organizations. You don't need that to use that per my homes area. No, you cannot use that, because it's carrying a 2 kg sugar, 30 ton. So understanding those, list time, shanda pakati. If you want to go a little bit deep, shanda say, maybe, for learning purposes, access technologies, home and small office connections. Do I remove this? Home and small office connections. So the types that we have DSL, we have cable. I always say I've rarely encountered cable, museum. I know of cellular, everyone knows cellular, satellite, dial-up telephone. I think this one is a legacy technology. And from good point, legacy technology, but satellite, cellular, DSL, very common. The types of access that we have for home in small networks. Then for larger organizations, we have my dedicated lease lines. So you will see with the Panama connections and my home connections up, we can share a channel. So if this is PC, PC 1, 2, 3, right? To consider interconnect to multiplexer to share this, maybe we have a router panel. Right, to share this connection, 1, 2, 3, no problem, we can share. Because to share some phone, we are not pushing that much traffic. But the type of business, we have my dedicated lines or my 30-ton track. ma connections anenge akakura ane capacity yakakura so that they can be able to push traffic push kune businesses. So when you talk about dedicated, instead of having this, uyanenge ane line rake, uyanenge ane line rake, uyanenge ane line rake. It's a bit expensive, but in terms of being effective for communication, running the business, security as well, it's no bad here. So that's the difference between having my home connections. For home connections, we don't need this. My dedicated list lines, we don't need that. My wide area networks, we don't need that because we are not pushing that much traffic. In the traffic at to push Azure, it doesn't have much security concerns. But kuma enterprises, that's a problem. Mugaita malines anenga joiner. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's move to answer pesa. A converged network, by definition, vakaverenga chimbompiwa answer. Converged network, what's that? Briefly, how much time do we have? A little participation so that I can breathe. What is a converged network? I have two of my assistants, I don't know. What email? Privilege, unmute. What is a converged network? Tine two my assistants here anenge achizondibatsira, especially pama-labs. Chimbomuzigara anoziva. Privilege, can only unmute. What is a converged network? Hello. Chipfumbu. Anongwasiya vakangoisa orara zvavo. It happens. Anyone who knows a converged network? Ah. No. Right, Mapina message. What do we have here? Right, I just wanted to breathe multiple types of networks combined. Yes, I think by definition it makes sense. All right, having multiple networks combined. Right, before my converged networks, we had a network responsible for transmitting audio. My telephone lines edu. Wasakwanisa send a WhatsApp message using my telephone lines edu. We send the audio only, landline, right? Can also send a video, you need a totally different network to do that. It also means probably different media to do that. Exactly, using different media, thank you very much. It also means using different media to do that. But with my converged networks, it allows us to put information over up to transmitter using the same media, using the same network. It offers my advantages akawanda. Cost, number one. Kana mucha designer my networks, chamuru tarisa murupa company is reducing cost, number one, but having performance proper. It's not only reducing cost, performance you affect. Performance should be proper, but focus is on reducing cost. That's why we have sema converged networks, so that we reduce my costs of running a business, of running a network, if I can say. All right, converged network, I think we've pretty much explained that one. Let's see, reliable networks. For me, ndo barotengera networking here. 10 minutes. Hiya. What makes a reliable network? We have four things. Can I'm just designing my networks? Network needs to be reliable. But what do you look at? What are the factors? What are the characteristics that you look at to see that a network is reliable? Number one, fault tolerance. Fault tolerance, by definition, limit impact of a failure by limiting the number of affected devices. Basically, it means booster get down, another booster takes off. All right? So that network get very down. In this case, you can see access to the internet. If this PC wants to access the internet, Dai pasina connection iri green rape. Uyu kana access to the internet anoenda pa switch oya pa router iri oya pa router iri oya pa router oenda to the internet. But kana router iri rakadhakwa iri, there is no more access to the internet without link green. So, the fault tolerance is the ability of munhu ari kudesigna network kuziva kuti from my design I should have my redundant links, my redundant devices, so that we have multiple paths leading to the destination. So in this example, iri rikaita down here, ndokwanisa kuya neapp, ndoya app, data to the internet. No problem. I can access to the internet because of my redundant links. So my links are up and are redundant. Dzimwe nguva it's not even necessary kumaisa. Cost. A company can focus on cost or these redundant links. Tunoshandisa iwaya. Kana chida kuenda kuinternet anouya noko. Kana chida kuenda kuinternet anouya noko. No problem. Problem inouya panodhakwa device or panodhakwa link itself. Media inokwanisa kudhakwa iyi. Then what? Ndo panotangura ma-problems network yedu ipapo. My network is low. I don't know if the question on converged network was answered. Right, it was already answered. Saka network yamasiwa iri reliable. Right. So I was saying fault tolerance is that ability of a designer network to know I should have my redundant links. My redundant links they are or my redundant devices. I could say muchaita inonzi HSRP, hot standby routing protocol. Muchaita umbero. Yekuti ndokwanisa two router up. Ese anenge ari connected to the internet like this. I think they are also connected. So iri rikaita down here. Pane rimwe rinenge riri paside rakatomirira to take over kana rimwe raita down. I am redundant devices are. So for designer, it's probably you have my redundant devices. In this case, which might be a bit costly because my router, they are very costly. You can have my redundant links, which might be cheaper than having my redundant devices at some point. So basically, that is what fault tolerance is. And that's a characteristic of a network you should consider when you are designing your network. All right, turn about scalability. The ability of a network to grow, scalable. The network should be able to grow. A simple explanation of this is having my devices and my expansion modules, for example. So you can have a router. Ukwanisa kutenga router iri. Maybe rine 4 port maximum, 4 interfaces, 4 ports. Connect the 4 ports, that's it. You can no longer connect anything else because rine 4 ports. But ukatenga rine 4 ports, rine expansion module, you can add. For example, maram edu no unotenga a laptop rine 4 gig RAM, ozowedzereka unga 4 gig, owedzereka unga 4 gig, watom 12, owedzereka unga watom 16. My expansion is one. So if you design a network, or is a company which buy my routers and my expansion modules, it means wakadziziswa networking, and you know that at some point a network is going to grow. Ichakura. Saka painokurira ipapo, you just add an expansion module, you make my connections mamwe. If you do not consider scalability by designing a network, it means panokura network, you have to buy another switch, another router, or uchatenga rimwe 4-port foot, which is very expensive. But kutenga an expansion module, rekuti wedzere 4 ports up, is probably much cheaper. I hope you're getting where I'm going. So that basically, on a very small scale, defines the network scalability. Designing a network with the network itself growing in mind. Kuzoti network ichakura. Muchatanga muri pa. So for example, myself. Ndakatanga ndine. Okay, I started huge. Ndakatanga ndine 20 students. Okay, pa use data. Right? Vanava pa use it. Vanendra bada ukubindura. Buse, that's a network growing. Tikapura pa zego. I'm sure man and love munomu iblawayo. Right? Pane vane accounts ane .yahoo.uk. UK. That's me growing. If I didn't consider scalability pakukura whatever I'm doing, probably then now on Facebook and advertise, etc., etc. So that is me considering kuti at some point, whatever I'm doing is going to grow. So how am I going to grow? That is scaling a network, growing a network, if I can say, scalability. Right, let's move to quality of service, very important. Quality of service, I would love to define it using an important word that is not priority. Quality of service is prioritizing traffic, basically. Motorcade, ikapfuura nechero pari congested sei, panovhurika kuti motorcade ipfuure. That is prioritizing motorcade kuti vakuru vasvika. In networks, we also have type of traffic which needs to be prioritized. The simple one, most common one, is voice. Voice rakakosha pa network, it needs to be prioritized. Assistant wangu arikutaura kuti network yangu iri low, pamwe azonzwa zvandiri kutaura izvezvizvi or aratozozvinzwa zvaaye delayed mesh kudaro. Voice, it needs to be prioritized. It's because network yake haisi kuprioritize voice. So haasi kunyatsonzwa, network yake is not that good. Ndikasendera message WhatsApp munhu, even kusina network, rinoisa ka clock kuratidza message inopinda. Ukangoburikira pane network, 1 tick, ikareceive uko, 2 matick, message inosvika. Ukasenda voice note, of course inosvika. But if you make a call, WhatsApp call, kana munhu aufonera asiri pa internet, you won't be able to communicate with that person. Kana ane internet yakadhakwa, you won't be able to communicate with that person. It's because yenyaya quality of service. So in a network, when you design your network, when you do my settings, my setup, configurations, everything, especially but this device you are not routed, you need to prioritize. Kuti bandwidth yedu i 30 ton. Voice kana rine 25 ton. Voice. Then data ripa WhatsApp kana rine 10 ton. Zvese zvikada kufamba ne 30 ton, what happens? Data rinovharwa panze, voice rotakurwa. If your network is not configured like that, data rikangotanga kuloadwa chete, zviroti ndo rakutoenda. Voice iro rakavharirwa panze, but ndo riri prioritized. So your network needs to be configured to prioritize some type of traffic over others. And in the quality of service, being able to prioritize traffic. Right, 1 minute. I think I said my lectures are not gonna occur because of excitement. This is one of those. Kana machine energy, I think one more will be enough to finish. Machine vanhu kamunomu. Topedzisa aido.
Inini hangu I'm good to go. Ngokubayirira magetsi achangodzoka saka kuti ngokubayirira laptop pamagetsi, then I'm good. Ameno.
Right, good.
Yeah, we can continue.
Enough. Right, so this one is ending. Let me end it tipinde much faster. Let me end this one. Where are we enough? Stop sharing. Right, use the same link.